Hey guys, and welcome back to the movie review. And this one is an oldie. It's very, very old. I do not remember ever having seen this film before. Um, Maybe because it sounds like a movie which I would have seen as a kid, possibly on cable, or maybe somebody took a VHS in the family. When I say family, I'm talking about my extended family, uncles, cousins, and all that stuff. I am talking about 1 Million Years B.C., as you can see from the title, and this is a movie that stars Raquel Welch and nobody else of any significance for me, but there is this actress called Martine Beswick, who I found to be absolutely ravishing in her appearances during that time. Of course, she is now something like 78 or something like that. Raquel Welch as well, she was at her time for a very long time one of the hottest women in the planet. I remember watching her as a child, a teenager, and having the hots for her. But yeah, of course, she is, I think she's around 78. She's 80. I do not want to have thoughts for an idiot. But yeah, she during her younger years, well up till her 50s and maybe even her 60s, she was considered to be really hot woman. And her in a fur bikini kind of thing, yeah, you must have set many hearts aflutter during the 1960s. So this is from 1966. It is a British film directed by Don Chaffee. It's called an adventure film because, let's face it, it's not historically accurate. It is, it just, it's there to entertain. There's a lot of inaccuracies, of course. The timeline doesn't match. The humans and their dinosaur counterparts do not match. Yeah, but let's take it for what it is. It is a movie from 1966. So Homo sapiens didn't actually exist until 300,000 years BC, but yeah, we are seeing them in a million years before all that. So Ray Harryhausen, who I'm a big fan of, I've seen several of his movies that he's been associated with. He animated all the dinosaur attacks using stop motion animation. So basically it's about this guy, this tribe of all brunettes. The father is the main chief of that tribe, and they hunt. And, so I found those things to be really interesting. Like they capture a wild, looks like a wild boar, a wild pig or something like that. Let me just drink a little bit of this. And once they capture it, they capture it inside a pit. The eldest son fights to have the honor of killing it. Then they take it to be cooked in this big cave where all the men and all the women are waiting for them. It's going to rain, or rather it starts raining as soon as they reach. And the honor of the biggest piece, most succulent piece, is of course for the chief. And then of course his eldest son. The chief is called, let me see if I can get those names. Tumak and Akoba are the two brothers. The chief is, Akoba is the tribal chief, is the dad. And maybe Sakana is the younger son, I don't know. Well, or one of the sons at least. So they fight over each other, and so what happens is even the chief he puts his authority over Tumak, and he falls down from the entrance of the cave. So they assume him to be dead. However, he survives because he falls on some bushes. He then makes his way across what looks like it to be a desert, and then he sees a giant iguana, ape men, a plant-eating brontosaurus, and a giant spider. So he has to survive all of these, and then he collapses on a beach where, of course, right in front of him are women from the blonde tribe. So he's never seen them before, they've never seen him. All of these beautiful women in these fur bikinis playing in the water. My God, like I said, testosterone must have been flying through the roof when the movie was running. A funny thing is also all the women are extremely well done. Martine Beswick plays uh, Nupondi, who's one of the brunette tribe. So she is supposed to be Tumak's betrothed or something to that effect. Um, so Tumak is basically injured. He collapses. Basically, he's got wounds all over him. The character played by Raquel Welch is called Loana. She leads the women to rescue him, and they call up some of the men. They take him to their cave. They treat his wounds. He recovers. He starts, living along with them. Showing a few of his things. So they are a little bit more advanced. However, there's one scene in which Humak sees some of the kids trying to get some fruit from a tree, and then he, helps them. He jumps over, knocks them out, and lifts one of the kids to do that. Why the other men couldn't do that in the blonde tribe, I don't know. They're blonde. Akoba, meanwhile, leads his men for another hunting trip. However, he slips and falls, and now he is weak. So the younger son is actually Sakana. Yeah, that's his name. He takes over as the chief. Akoba basically survives, but he's a broken man. And then there's a little fighting scene with the Triceratops and all that stuff happening. Well, in the end, Sakana and Tumak basically tries to, defy his brother and Akoba for power of the brunette tribe as well. There's a lot of things about fighting and things happening like that, and eventually he does actually win, and there's an earthquake. A lot of people get died. Unfortunately, Lupandi also dies. A lot of people die because the earth basically splits. Part of the ground, splits across and all that stuff. And there's one of those flying dinosaurs. I can't remember the name of those dinosaurs that also attacks Luana takes her in. She's about to feed her to the birds, but she manages to escape. So there's these earthquakes and landslides and basically volcanoes erupting. Surprising that all these things happened at the same time, but yeah, it's meant for the effect of seeing such things on the screen, probably. And let me tell you, even though they are the special effects are outdated and pretty stale at this point, I can see how it actually would have wowed the audience. Now, 1966 is like 10 years before I was born. I was born in 76, so I don't remember seeing. I don't think I've seen this movie before, but I have an appreciation for it because compared to stuff that we see now, it's nothing. But at the same time, give it the credit that it's due in terms of a visual aspect of seeing these creatures fighting with men and all that, even if it's not historically accurate. I mean, nobody's going to be confused about it, except for maybe some people. Not going to say who they are, who think that humans fought the dinosaurs. They lived together 6,000 years ago, something like that. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so that's about the movie, and towards the end, basically Tumak and Loana, the surviving members of both tribes, they come out, they are the survivors, and they kind of form a new tribe with Tumak as their leader, with Loana by his side, and they're off to find a new home. So it's pretty much okay for me, like watching it on a lazy afternoon. I was entertained decently enough. As a movie, there's a lot of things lacking, of course. I would probably give this movie a 6.5 out of 10. I don't really know what kind of scenario I would actually want to watch this movie again, excuse me, feeling sleepy. But it did hold enough of my attention watching it for what I think is the first time. Like, I don't remember seeing it before, so I do think it had its moments. So, but I'm not really sure that I would actually watch it again. So 6.5 out of 10, mainly because of that. Thank you. Good night.